We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Welcome into college football pregame here on CBS Sports HQ. And you thought we talked a lot of playoff before. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. We've got brand new rankings. We've got the final month until the season, which is why Mackenzie Brooks is here at the desk with us. We've also got the guys, the usual suspects. We've got Danny Cannell, B-Mac, Damian Harris. I am Emily Proud. And Ken's, you ready for some Brooksatology?
I'm ready. It's the time of year. November hits. People say the holidays. I say bracketology. It's time to get Danny Cannell worked up about the ACC. It's just the best time of year.
It's going to be beautiful. Let's waste no time. Starting, though, in the Big Ten, because it is big time on CBS. We've got number 9 Oregon at number 20 Iowa, 3:30. You know the network. Jenny, Gary, and Brad with the call. Danny, this is the big one today in the Big Ten.
This is an awesome game. People are kind of sleeping on the Ducks, in my opinion, including the selection committee, who, remember, they were ranked higher in the AP. They dropped a few spots there. And oh, by the way, Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator for Iowa, did make a reference to Oregon's roster, how well-funded they were. Remember the last time Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State said something about that? It did not go well, but Oregon's got to travel into a tough place to play at Kinnick, little weather issues. This should be a classic Big Ten matchup. And there's some other ones, too. I think this weekend was kind of like what could have been. Indiana-Penn State was supposed to be this marquee matchup. Penn State, just around a 2-touchdown underdog. Can they mount anything to slow down Indiana? And then Washington, another one where conditions are supposed to come into play. It's supposed to be pretty nasty out there in Madison. Washington finally getting the respect they deserve from the committee. Now they got to make sure they go out and do it on the field as well against the Badgers.
In the SEC, at the beginning of the season, we had LSU Bama circled as usual, but now it's to see what a Brian Kelly-less Tiger squad on life support can do against a top 5 tie. Dame, what do you think about that one and this whole SEC slate?
Listen here, Emily, there are a lot of big-time matchups in the SEC today, none bigger in terms of pride. I'm not talking about playoffs, but none bigger in terms of pride than Alabama versus LSU. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we know what Alabama has done throughout the course of the season. Since that Week 1 loss to Florida State, they have done nothing but improve week after week after week. Can this be a get-right game for LSU? Can this be an opportunity to point your program in the right direction following the firing of Brian Kelly? We shall see. But there's other big-time matchups. We've got the battle of the mobile quarterbacks, Auburn versus Vandy. This is another opportunity for Diego Pavia to cement himself as one of the best players in the SEC. And then Texas A&M, who might be the hottest team in the country. Well, guess what? Missouri is no slouch. It's a tough place to play. They've got a really good defense. And let's not forget about a man by the name of Ahmad Hardy. If Texas A&M doesn't show up ready to play, Missouri can absolutely play spoiler to Texas A&M and their college football playoff.
Oh, you glossed over the Citadel Ole Miss game.
We'll get to that, don't worry. We first need to get to the game of the day because it comes courtesy of the Big 12. Number 7 BYU, number 8 Texas Tech. Conference college football playoff stakes aplenty.
No question.
What have you got your eye on, B-Mac?
I mean, it's time to put the appetizers away. Let's bring out the main dish. This is the main dish right now. Biggest game out of all the games in college football. I mean, this is separation Saturday in the Big 12 when you look at what's at stake with BYU traveling to Lubbock. Lubbock is going to be upside down. This is the biggest game for Lubbock in terms of being in Lubbock, with Texas Tech being involved since 2008 when the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns came to town, and of course they came out limping with a loss. So when you look at what's going on with these two programs, have exceeded the expectations, and they control their destiny based on what will happen today. And of course there's some other games in the Big 12 also that are noteworthy when you look at Colorado trying to get back in good graces and play some type of defense. And what about Iowa State and TCU? What do we have in store for that matchup? We have to wait and see.
How about this one? The game with the biggest college football playoff implications involving Navy and number 10 Notre Dame, mainly because the Irish can't lose, Kens. How big is today in terms of what's on the line?
You know, we have a what's on the line ranked list with the biggest swing percentages every single week. And every single week, you are going to see Notre Dame at the top of that list with the highest swing percentage. If they lose, again, they're basically down to 0%. We call it 2.5 because you never know what's going to happen in college football, but it is always win or go home for Notre Dame here.
How about
Another
the
big test for Notre Dame.
Another big
Here we go.
Well, we got to put them in the playoff because what else are you going to do? I don't agree with it. It's a frustrating situation for a different time, but as long as they're winning these games, what we learned from last year is the committee is going to put them in. So it's a mix of numbers and it's a mix of what we think the committee will do here. But if you look at that 12 seed based off what we saw last night, we do think the American Conference winner eventually will make it here, number 9, Notre Dame. That 10 seed is going to be the talk of the town today. It's been an ACC team. It's been a 5th SEC team. It's been a 2nd Big 12 team. Where will we stand? As of right now, it's looking like it could be BYU as a 2nd Big 12 team in our eyes.
Wow, so you have both Texas Tech and BYU in. That was the Sportsline projected bracket. This is the real one that we got on Tuesday. Of course, the team at the very top of the screen there, Memphis, lost last night, which we'll get into. So this is a very much open competition for who wants to be the G5 representative. But we have our first look at what the committee might believe. But guys, this is still all about the football games. And I want to start with what BMAC said is the main course today. And that is a top 10 matchup in Lubbock. It seems like this is a David versus Goliath kind of matchup. David, though, is the higher seed in this one. So I'll start with you, BMAC. How do you see this one laying out today? At noon, we don't have to wait long for it.
Usually I don't like seeing primetime matchups at 12, but it's something about this matchup. I'm okay in seeing it at 12 because I get a chance to get my get fixed moment out of the way immediately. But when you look at this matchup, I think the odd makers out in Vegas, they're telling us the story before the story actually kicks off. BYU, they're a 10-point underdog. They're the 7th ranked team in college football, undefeated, by the way, and they have really played phenomenal football. But they're going into Lubbock, 10-point underdog. So when you look at that in terms of the betting side of things, and when you look at how Texas Tech play football, this could be a very, very entertaining game for a one-sided team in Texas Tech because they can score. They got their quarterback back in the fold. He's healthy. They can run the football. They can throw it around the yard. And they got some guys on the defensive side that look like what they hunt. You talk about a guy with a double-digit sack season so far in David Bailey. I mean, he's been harassing any opposing quarterback he's faced off against this season. So for me, 10-point underdog for a top 7 team tells a story for me. I think this could be
and
ugly.
This is what happened last year. BYU was in a very similar spot. And we're like, at some point,
they gotta lose, right?
They're gonna lose. Like what they were doing is so unsustainable, and that's not to take away what they have done. It just feels like the stats and the clean football they're playing doesn't feel sustainable, and at some point it's going to fall, and today might be the day again.
Can I say
we knew their schedule was backloaded too.
I just want to say this. I feel like with these two matches, these are obviously the 2 best teams in the Big 12, but they're so different. Texas Tech is all about flash and dash. They're the best team that money can buy, kind of like Ohio State last year. They went out and spent so much money and so many resources, especially on this defensive side of the ball. But then you got BYU, led by Kalani Sitake, and they're just as blue-collar as it comes. Bear Bachmeier, he comes in, he does his job. They don't do anything that makes you say, wow, that was exciting, or wow, this guy's going to be a top 10 pick, but they just do things the right way. So I see this matchup as almost like a measuring stick. What is the Big 12 going to become? Is it going to become a conference where it's all about resources and spending money, or is it going to be the BYU way, which is still the blue-collar, bring your lunch pail and your hard hat to work, and let's handle some business? That's what I see when I see this matchup.
I hate the rhetoric that I'm hearing from right here because eventually they have to lose.
They're going to. They did last year.
Well, maybe or maybe not.
They're
Maybe they're a team that
11-point
gets hot.
dogs.
I know, but Alabama was a 2-touchdown favorite against Florida State. We've seen other upsets happen throughout the college football season, and I root for teams like this because no one gives them any credit. They were underdogs the last 2 games versus Utah and against Iowa State.
Yep.
They won both of those games outright. Now, it wasn't double digits. I feel like this team has a culture that Kalani Sitake has created of very physical football, and they are good with the football. They protect it. They're number 1 in turnover margin in the Big 12. Bear Bachmeier is a true freshman. He's 8-0. It's the first time that's happened since Trevor Lawrence did it at Clemson when he stepped into the lineup for the Clemson Tigers. They actually went all the way to the national championship. So I think this is a great story. L.J. Martin, their running back, is healthy.
That's a plus.
This is Lubbock will be it's going to be one of the tougher places they play. The BYU-Utah game was in Provo, but I don't know if I would say they get the win. But at some point, people are like, well, why are they ranked higher? And why? Because they've won all their games. Like, we need to give them credit for winning. If they lose, go ahead, drop them, knock them, do whatever you want to do. But they've won every game to this point.
I think they deserve to be seated where they are. But there's a reason they're 10.5-point dogs. We sat in the same seats last year. We've seen this movie before. They continue to be underdogs. Vegas continues to ding them. Their odds to win the Big 12 stay a lot higher than Texas Tech, or Texas Tech has shorter odds. And I want to give them their flowers for where they are. I think they're seated correctly, but I just don't think this lasts.
I think this is just a bad matchup, and this is what Vegas is anticipating, because Barrett Bachmeier has been phenomenal, but he's a freshman. This will be the most hostile environment he's ever experienced since being the starting quarterback there for BYU. And Baron Morton is back, and just the style of play for what Texas Tech, they can run the football, they can throw it, they can score in so many different ways. I think they just feel like this is a bad matchup for BYU, and that is why we see a 10-point spread in terms of them being the underdog.
Question for everybody here. If they win this game, do we look at BYU? Like, are you going to be okay with that? Like, do you say that, or do you like, well, they're going to lose eventually?
I think they're going to lose to Cincinnati, but still.
It goes on to the next week.
So you won't.
Somebody's looking ahead. Somebody's looking ahead.
Keep them in the playoff. Like,
Okay.
as long as they are winning games, they will be in a projected college football playoff, no doubt.
I disagree with Kinsey. If they win today,
Yeah,
they're
running
not
out.
losing.
Right.
They're not losing. If they win
agreement.
today, they're not losing.
I actually think that's the best case for the Big 12 to get two teams in, is to BYU run the table in the regular season, be undefeated, and then
Lose to
lose
Texas
in the
Tech.
Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, that's the tough part, because if, say they lose today, then there's another chance that they there's a chance they lose to Cincinnati too. Now you're a 2-loss regular season team. Then you go in and you lose to Texas Tech.
And then you're out. Yeah.
Then what? You put in a 9-3 Texas, eh?
See, this is a very interesting discussion. We're actually going to go out live to Lubbock a little bit later in the show, so we'll get a pulse on the tortillas and the environment and everything circling this game. But when we talk about a talent gap, I go to our game on CBS today between Oregon and Iowa. Danny, what will it take for Iowa to pull off this upset at home?
I mean, Iowa football is probably the most, like, when you watch Iowa football, you know exactly what you're going to get. Like, you're going to get a heavy presence of the run, and you're going to get a really good defense that has had a full bye week to throw some things at Dante Moore. So they're going to be aggressive. They're going to try to confuse a young quarterback, and they're going to try to run the football. And Mark Gronowski, their quarterback, while I thought he would add a dimension to the pass game, he's actually been a pretty good weapon as a runner. Now, no one will confuse him with Lamar Jackson or anybody like, but he gets it done, and that is a tough element that Oregon better be ready to defend, is the QB run game. I do think this actually is a pretty good matchup for Oregon's defense, because I think the strength of their defense is the defensive line with Amari Washington, Bear Alexander, Mateo Uyunglele. So I think that actually plays pretty well. Their secondary is their weakness. I don't think Mark Gronowski would be able to exploit that. So I expect a lower scoring game. So do the odds makers, which is why the total is so low. So I think it'll be a lower scoring game where defense is a premium.
I agree with everything that Danny just said, but can I add two things? This is how Iowa pulls this game off. I'm not saying that they will, but I'm telling you the recipe as to how. It's going to be two things. One, Kirk Ferentz is the winningest coach in Big Ten history. He has won more football games in that conference than anybody else. What is all that experience for? All those games, all those lessons you have learned, it's to win games like this when you're in a David versus Goliath moment. Number two, we've spent a lot of time talking about how dominant this Ohio State defense is, how great they are, how they hold their opponents to no points, no yards. Well, guess what? Iowa's defense is right behind them, only giving up 13 points a game, barely giving up over 240 total yards per game. So if they want to win this game, I know Mark Gronowski, he does his job. Offensively, they're going to have to run the football. They're going to have to maintain time of possession, keep the ball in their hands. They have got to lean on the veteran experience of their head coach, who has won more games in this conference than anybody else. And they just got to grab their defense and say, we need a day out of you guys today. Whether it's turnovers, whether it's affecting the quarterback, whether it's holding the opposing running backs to 2 yards per carry, whatever we do, it's going to be the defense that leads this team and wins us this football game.
Since 2016, Iowa, they're 4-4 at home versus top 10 teams.
I've done it before.
They know how to win in these spots. Mother Nature is already kind of throwing them a bone in terms of the weather. It's going to be Hawkeye-type weather, and I don't know if the Ducks can handle those said conditions. So this is a very, very tough scenario for Oregon to be in. Number one, the committee is already saying, we don't really think you're like that. You barely made the top 10 in terms of the playoff ranking. Now you go on the road, and it's something about Oregon in terms of their style of play. It hasn't really shown to be consistent. Remember, they struggled against Wisconsin. I know Dante Moore got knocked out in the third quarter or something like that. But even before he was knocked out of the ball game, the offense had some moments where they were a bit stagnant. If you had those same issues today on the road against that Hawkeye defense that Damie alluded to, this could be a situation where there could be some shakeup in the top 10 based on what could happen today on CBS. Make sure you tune in, by the way. Tune in.
See, I feel like Oregon can play this style of football. I think their running backs are solid enough. We give them an 100-yard edge on the ground in this game, too. So I feel like we're like, yes, this is Iowa football, but it's not Oregon football. It's nothing they can't do. So I do think Oregon still probably covers this spread, but that's not for me to decide. Talking of spreads, speaking of spreads, we're going to welcome in my good friend, Mikey Overs. Now, I will be joining you, Mikey. I know you're lonely in there. I'll be back. I hope you're holding down the fort, but we got to warm up with some nice bets today. They do call you Mikey Overs. So what's our favorite overplay of the day?
They do. Favorite overplay of the day, Kansas, Arizona over whatever the total is. 3 years ago, this would have been a classic Heisman matchup for Jalen Daniels and Noah Fafita. Unfortunately, we're now 3 years later down the line where we can just watch this game and go, let's get a couple points, gentlemen, shall we? So I think it's at 57.5 right now, but I would take it up to 90, 95.5, maybe 100. And then our sicko play of the day, we have to do it every single Saturday. Grab your bags, grab the sunscreen, and we're going to the island. Hawaii late night with Mike Alejado. Give me the money line plus 210. This is when you're at the bar, had a couple of drinks, you open the phone, it's midnight, you go, we're going to the island, so grab the sunscreen.
Wow. That's where you make it all back, at midnight, at the bar, when you're thinking to yourself, the college football slate is over, and then you have the Rainbow Warriors to bring it all back.
Of course. Let's just pay no attention to the fact that the Aztecs have won 6 straight football games.
Yeah.
That's all right. The Rainbow Warriors know how to play in the middle of the night. Mikey, appreciate you. Guys, we have a lot more to talk about here on college football pregame. Week 11 kicked off this week. Last night, teams already playing themselves out of the college football playoff race, or in the case of Tulane, right back in it. What the results mean for the playoff, that is coming up. Plus, more BYU and Texas Tech talk. Can both teams afford a loss? We are talking a whole lot of CFP. Stick with us here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You are going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
What? It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes. New season, now streaming. Exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here.
Oh, man, this is awesome.
That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, 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 crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Had a little Friday night fever in the sport. We're pretty used to that by now, but the games, they don't always come with so much at stake, particularly with Northwestern and USC. The Trojans at number 19 in the initial CFP rankings, very much still in this thing.
Yes.
So let's go straight to the second quarter. Jaden Mayava is really making the stats guy work for it here. First, he throws an interception.
This is a football play.
But Danny, he does not give up on the play here.
No.
Force fumble now.
Would you have done this,
Heck
Danny?
yeah, I would have done. Why wouldn't have thrown the pick in the first place? I would have said out. I mean, that's the time you got to suck it up.
What a hit from the QB.
Great play.
That's a play like that that make NFL GMs salivate.
Yes.
Salivate.
How about you just hand it off to your running back here, though, David?
Well, that makes it easy. There's no better feeling as a running back walking into the box, standing straight up. Dominant performance by King Miller.
Yeah, you like contact, though, but it's much easier here.
Box out.
How about Jacoby Lane going up for it, B-Mac?
He's always boxing out defenders in the red zone, man. Big body wide receiver. He knows how to use his body.
Yeah, Mekhi Lemon, too, the other wide receiver, had a touchdown through the air and on the ground as USC wins this football game 38-17.
Yep. Nice win.
Very much still in it. How about in the American? We've got Memphis and Tulane. Tigers, the 12 seed in the initial CFP bracket, so on the outside looking in, but this game is going to go a long way. Tulane, though, Jake Retzlaff, Danny, was dealing in this game.
I mean, and think about it, too. He came in late. Remember, he transferred from BYU, won the starting job, and he's still a guy that can make plays on the biggest stages. Had Tulane in good positions all night long.
Yeah, not just through the air, with his legs, too.
We didn't know he had this in his game.
Yeah.
You know, I put up a second pick for cover 3, Memphis minus a 3.5, just an absolute stinker.
This is
I
where
had him on a
Ken
money
would
line
like to
sprinkle for
apologize.
Tulane there, Ken's, just in case you didn't miss that.
I either need to come back on that show and give 12 picks or stay off.
You were not the only person that thought Memphis was going to win this football game.
Especially
I think
at home.
the Tulane fans, though, Jake Retzlaff in particular, he felt good about his play and his guys. Another deep shot on play action. Fourth quarter, though, Tulane here jumping offside, so you got a free play here for Memphis, and they're taking full advantage with Brendan Lewis. So it got a little squirrely there towards the end, Danny.
No question.
Yeah, it did. I love that free play. You can just chuck it up, knowing the worst case that happens, you get a 5-yard penalty going your way. Those are the best situations.
Yeah, so it's still a one-score game, and they're going to go for it on 4th and 8 from the Tulane 35. Goes for the deep shot, but
Holy over.
turnover on downs,
Ball.
just
You gotta
out of
adjust to
reach
it.
of his wide receiver. So Tulane hoping to take advantage here. Retzlaff once again
Who knew
with
he had
his
this in his
legs.
game with the knee brace on.
You must not have watched BYU last year.
I don't like him running with the knee brace on. It makes me think he has no athleticism, but guess what? He had it.
That was a smart move, though.
Yeah,
I like
put the knee
that.
brace on if you're a quarterback.
He's
I think
got
you can't run.
plenty of athleticism. Don't worry about it. But understandably, the odds have adjusted when it comes to the G5 playoff representative, with Memphis losing that game last night. South Florida in the driver's seat here. But of course, I keep wanting to circle James Madison. They're just waiting for the American to cannibalize on itself so they can hop right in to that college football playoff. But now it is time to get behind the proverbial podium and state your college football playoff case. Because, guys, we learned a lot Tuesday night with the initial playoff rankings. Danny, I'm going to throw it to you first. State your case.
So let me just, before I make my case, I do want to say I've long been a defender of the group of 5 getting a chance in the college football playoff.
There's a but coming.
Congrats to the 2017 UCF co-national champions.
No, don't do that.
Hey,
hold on. You got a 2017 national champion sitting at this desk. Don't do that.
Co-national champion.
Don't do that.
Co-national champion.
No.
So I made the case. They didn't even get to play for it. So I was all about them getting the opportunity. I was happy when they got the 12-team playoff. but guaranteeing a group of 5 team in the 12-team playoff makes 0 sense. We just put up the favorites there. USF, if they win the American, they will be in as a 2-loss team. One of those losses was 49-12 to the Miami Hurricanes, who probably are going to be on the outside looking in, but you have to guarantee one of these group of 5 spots. There has to be some sort of requirement, a minimum requirement that the group of 5 should have to meet in order for them to get access to the playoffs. Make it so they're top 16 in the country, somewhere where it's in the vicinity of the top 12. We did not have a group of 5 team ranked in the top 25 by the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. And if you want to have it in fairness, so you don't feel like you're just screwing over the group of 5, make it for everybody. If you're an ACC, Big 12, or even an SEC or Big 10, you should have to be ranked the same way so that you avoid teams with 3 and 4 losses that are conference champions and, oh, well, we just have to put them in. Guaranteeing a group of 5 team a spot in the 12-team playoff makes no sense.
Alex Golish, the head coach of South Florida, is going to join the show a little bit later. Maybe we should ask him what he thinks about that. But first, Kenz, what do you think about that debate?
I mean, I'm, you know, where I stand with all this. I want to see the best teams in the college football playoff.
18 SEC teams in.
I want to see the best teams in the college football playoff, and I think there's a very realistic shot that we will need to see 5 SEC teams in the playoff this upcoming season. I mean, you talked about BYU, 11.5-point dogs today. Okay, if they lose that game, sure, quite likely. Crazy of me to say. Maybe they go on and lose to Cincinnati. Okay, now they're a 2-loss team regular season. Then they go in, they lose to Texas Tech again. I don't want to see them in the playoff. Do you want to see them in the playoff? Because you just told me no 7 minutes ago. What does that mean? Uh-oh, here comes a 5th SEC team, because you know we're not getting 2 ACC teams. They're going to completely cannibalize themselves here. Georgia Tech, they don't have to play any of them, so they're surefire to go to Charlotte. I think they're going to win that game. So if you don't have 2 Big 12, you don't have 2 ACC, if you could see Texas going 10-2, I think they could beat Texas A&M at the end of the year in November, no doubt in my mind. We actually have them favored like 52%. So 10-2 Texas over a BYU, I think, is a very realistic situation we can see ourselves in.
But see, here's the thing. You just said that Big 12 is going to cannibalize itself. We're going to see that in the SEC, too. Like, there's still a month left of college football.
Texas A&M can go 2-2.
They could, but Texas 10-2, I'm fine with. But Texas 9-3, I am not fine with.
So you rather see a BYU that's 10-2, a 3rd loss in the Big 12 championship, than a 9-3 Texas?
No, but I don't know if it comes down to BYU.
Definitely
it could
does.
be another team. There could be another ACC team that comes in there. Louisville, Virginia are 1-loss teams.
Play each other. SMU
or
and
Miami
Louisville
at
play each other.
10-2.
Yeah. I mean, the committee kind of told us that they value the Big 12 way higher than the ACC. 3 Big 12
still
teams
lurking.
over.
I might rather have Utah.
I think Utah's power ranked higher.
We're hearing all this Big 12 disrespect, and I think our friend BMAC is making the case for the Big 12.
I'm here to solve all the issues and go ahead and make some Big 12 fans feel really good about their chances. I'm stating the case for Big 12 having at least 2 teams in the college football playoffs when it's all said and done, and here's why. The first rankings that were just revealed this past Tuesday, Emily, you hit on it. We saw 3 Big 12 teams in the top 13. Right? BYU, Tech, and Utah. So with that being said, we know the game of the day is in Lubbock, BYU traveling to Texas Tech. So with this hypothetical, let's say for sake of argument, right? BYU wins today. They pretty much stamps their approval to play in the Big 12 championship game. Let's say they play a Utah or a Cincinnati, or let's say they play Texas Tech again, and they happen to lose in the Big 12 championship game. Well, the committee has already told all of us they will not penalize teams for playing in the conference championship game. So if BYU loses in the Big 12 championship game in this hypothetical, they still will get a spot in the college football playoff rankings. And the winner of the Big 12 will automatically have a seat at the table as well. So with that, all of that happening, I do believe, regardless of what Kenzie is saying about the SEC getting 17 teams in the playoffs, the Big 12 potentially will get 2 teams in the playoffs based on what we know it to be right now.
I agree. If BYU wins today, I agree, 100%.
Well, you know what? Since you want to agree with me so easily, what happens if they don't win today?
Oh, Lord.
Right? If Texas Tech wins and they happen to play a BYU in the Big 12 and BYU beats them, regardless who loses the Big 12 championship game, they're going to the playoffs. The committee said they're not penalizing teams for playing in conference
Last
championship
year's
game.
committee is. It's
Yeah,
different this year.
Well,
and they've been hearing.
So if that's the case, it needs to be the same for the SEC. Whoever the loser is in the SEC championship game or the Big Ten, depending on the record, if they already have a loss, that means they would be out also. Right? You can't
asking a lot of that committee.
But there's another metric that happens to be strength of schedule.
And that's where they've been campaigning.
That's a legitimate point. That's legitimate criteria by the committee.
What if it's Ole Miss who has one of the lightest schedules in the SEC?
Get them out.
Okay.
Get them out. You're talking to somebody. You're talking to somebody who wanted a 4-team playoff.
That's what you're saying.
Somebody who was happy with the 4-team playoff. And hold on, I'm gonna cut you off because, by the way, Danny Cannell has got buyer's remorse over the fact that we have expanded to a 12-team playoff. I let you talk. He has buyer's remorse. Him and I sat up here and had a conversation in my second week on TV last year where he said, "Oh, you're a hater of the 12-team playoff? You're a hater because more teams have an opportunity? It's not just Alabama and LSU and Clemson every year?" Well, now Mackenzie Brooks is all of a sudden talking about, "Oh, well, I don't want to see Memphis in the 12-team playoff. I want to see the best teams play and compete for a national championship." That's what it was every single year when there were 4 teams. Nobody looked at Alabama or Clemson or any of those teams, Georgia, in the 14 playoff and said, those aren't the best 4 teams. They were just tired of seeing the same exact brands playing for the national championship every single year. Well, guess what? When you build a program to where you're the best every single year, that's what happens. You get rewarded because of it. But now all of a sudden we're talking about G5 teams who are FBS schools. That is requirement enough to get you into the 12-team playoff and get you a bid. Now all of a sudden we're saying there needs to be new criteria. We need to have some type of regulation, a play-in game, if you will, to make it to the college football playoffs now that we've expanded. That's all I wanted to get off my chest. Now we're moving on from you because I've got another case to make. That was just off the top of the dome. That wasn't my case. I was just listening to these two over here with buyer's remorse. Like, these two. Man, no. It was especially him. Y'all were a package deal. Y'all two are a package deal. So y'all always get roped in. It's like Mikey Open. I'm okay. At the end of the day, my case is Georgia Tech was criminally underrated, not being ranked in the top 12. They are the sole #1 spot in the ACC. They have knocked off team after team. They've beaten the teams on their schedule. They're going to look good going up against their matchup against Georgia. Haynes King should be in the Heisman conversation. Brent Key should be the coach of the year in everybody's opinion. This team is built in the trenches. They play good defense. Their quarterback takes care of the football. They can run the ball well. They are going to wreak havoc come championship time, whether it's the ACC championship and the college football playoff. The fact that they were not ranked in the top 12 was criminal.
So where should they have been ranked?
In the top 12.
Like at 12?
In the top 12.
People are digging them.
In the top 12.
Listen, I get why they're like technically ranked lower because people want to ding them for their easy schedule. I don't really care if your schedule's easy. You're still going to get to Charlotte because of your easy schedule and win the ACC championship. I think they're going to make it. I don't hate that they were so low, though.
I love how heated this is because it's typical. I have to say it. We have so much football left to be played, yet we're going to do another non-football field-related discussion. Let's talk about some coaches. Since we last did this show, another job opened up. Auburn joined the carousel. We're doing a little draft to help fill these jobs.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day 1.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
These 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes. New season now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here.
Oh man, this is awesome.
The power! Oh my goodness! What a performance!
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
So Badgers head coach Luke Fickell will stay. Instead, they're going to use the buyout money to invest back into the program. Danny, what do we think?
I'm surprised because we were there in Madison and saw how toxic it was with the fans chanting fire Fickell, and every fan seemed to want to get rid of Luke Fickell. But I actually think this is the right decision to do, especially considering the coaching cycle, how many jobs are going to turn over. I don't know if they're going to be able to go out and buy a coach that is that much better. So I do agree, invest in the program and the players.
Yeah, meanwhile, Auburn with the more common strategy on Sunday, firing Hugh Freeze in his third season on the Plains. A second straight 1-5 start in SEC play, culminating in a 10-3 loss at home to Kentucky, was the final straw for Freeze. So it is essentially, we'll call it copy and paste, the list of usual suspects as potential replacements. How about Jimbo Fisher? Welcome him back into the SEC potentially. James Franklin, of course, has made his intentions known that he wants to get right back into coaching and win a national championship. So we are going to draft these coaches and do the work for you. You don't have to pay millions to the search committee. The guys have it covered here. We're going to do a little snake draft. We'll start with you. The top jobs were ranked on CBSSports.com, so this is not us. You can blame the writers for this. Let's start with number 1, LSU. Who you taking?
Listen, there's a lot of names being thrown out right now. There's only one that makes sense to me. It's familiar. He's won a national championship there. I'm sure if you took an IV from him and you took his blood out, it'd be Louisiana hustle. Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Take it easy on that cigar, boy. Go get Ed Ogeron.
Wow.
Listen, he's already said he wants to come back. He's familiar. Of course he did. Yeah, of course he did. But it shows the love that he has for that program, because a lot of people thought that he was unfairly let go of. A place like LSU needs somebody that embodies the spirit of Louisiana. It's Ed Ogeron.
So Ed O off the board.
Why would I?
Who should Florida go after, B-Mac?
I mean, this is great for me because Damian went Coach O. The entire board is available for me with this snake draft that we're doing and filling these vacancies. But for Florida, they got to make a big splash. And with that being said, why don't they go get Lincoln Riley?
Ooh.
Lincoln Riley to Florida. And here's why this makes sense. It's something about Lincoln Riley, when things get quiet around him, now you need to be mindful about what his potential next move will be. We saw this when he was at Oklahoma, and all of a sudden, what did he do, Danny? He surprised all of us and left a really good situation to go into something that he thought would be better. Well, it's a better situation at Florida in terms of the resources, being in the SEC, and the ability to recruit, especially in the state of Florida. And if you're Lincoln Riley, when you look at this Florida Gator roster right now, they got a defense that can go. They just can't get right offensively. Lincoln Riley has shown the ability to make sweet tea with no sugar at the quarterback position, and you have DJ Lagway. They're already in place. If Lincoln Riley becomes the head coach at Florida, instantly he's a better quarterback. DJ Lagway and the entire offense will be better. For me, being a former no, I hope that doesn't happen. But my job is to give you the realness, and this is the real.
Wow, but going off the board a little bit here, Danny. Penn State, you got your.
So I have the guy I think they should try to get is Jeff Brown, but I don't think he's living in Louisville, so I don't think he's available. I'm going to go with a guy that actually had a ton of success as a defensive coordinator there, and he's crushed it at Duke in his 2 years. Give me Manny Diaz. We know what he can do on the defensive side of the ball. He was already there at Penn State, had a ton of success. And what else does he recognize? Quarterback talent. Darian Mensah, his quarterback. Remember, they had a quarterback last year that was pretty good, and they said, no, we're going to get better. So they went out and got Darian Mensah and paid $4 million for him. He knows how to evaluate that talent. He can bring in an offensive coordinator who can get that offense up to speed. Manny Diaz is the guy for Penn State.
All right, so it snakes back to you for Auburn. Who are you picking?
Auburn's coach, I could go with one of these sexy names and have a big splashy hire. DJ Durkin. What the current interim coach, who I do think there is a significant portion of Auburn backers and former players that would like to see DJ Durkin given the opportunity. He's got that. I think they win the game today against Vanderbilt. They have the Iron Bowl, and you don't have to pay an entire staff their buyout because you already paid $15 million to Hugh Freeze, and give DJ Durkin an opportunity to go get an offensive mind to run that side of the ball. This is one of the best defenses in the country, and it's been wasted.
How about Arkansas, B-Mac?
I got the board.
Who you drafted?
I got the entire board is open for me. I have two names that are available based on DJ, which surprised me, by the way, staying at Auburn. I have James Franklin and Eric Morris. Eric Morris.
Pick one.
I'm going to pick one, but I want the Arkansas fans to hear my options, and I want to hear what they're saying through the screen. I guess I'm going to go James Franklin. I'm going to go James Franklin, but I kind of want to go Eric Morris because his ability to identify quarterback talent, not to mention to make it offense total flawless.
Pick one.
I'll go James.
There we go.
Give me James Franklin to Arkansas. This is a big hire for Arkansas in terms of what they need to do, staying relevant in the SEC. And I think James Franklin, his ability to recruit, and also going back to the SEC, I think this would be huge for him as well. So I go James Franklin to Arkansas.
But the Pokes.
Finally.
Oklahoma State firing Gundy a long time ago.
I'm sorry. Honestly, I forgot that I was even up next because you took so long. Like, usually when they do drafts, there's a timer. Like, you get time to make your pick. Okay, so let me look at my list. The board is open. By the way, give me John Sumrall. Give me John Sumrall, head coach from Tulane. When you look at what he's done with this program, when you look at what he's done with Jake Retzlaff, again, a guy who had to transfer, get acclimated to the system very quickly, it's worked. John Sumrall is a coach who builds his team in the trenches. He builds a strong run game. He's got a good defense. And again, he expects and demands good play at the quarterback position. And we know in college football and in the NFL, if you have good quarterback play, you win football games.
All right, it's going to snake back to you for Virginia Tech.
Who'd you go with?
Yeah. Who did you pick? Did you pick James Franklin?
He went with Franklin.
Oh, see,
that puts you in a bind.
It does. It puts me in a bind. See, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the B-Mac rule. I'm gonna throw out the name of two guys. You know, James Franklin does happen to be one of them. Alex Golesh, head coach from USF, is another one. But I'll do the B-Mac way. I want the fans to hear me at Virginia Tech. So hear me out on James Franklin. Hear me out on James Franklin.
He's gone. He's off the board.
Just hear me out.
You don't know how a draft works?
Hear me out. They should go get Alex Golesh from USF. Because James Franklin's gone, apparently. Because he couldn't make up his mind, and he just threw a name out there. He's not even convinced in his pick.
All right, B-Mac, UCLA.
Come on. Yeah, UCLA. I got two names, Sean Lewis, Jim Moore Jr. But I think Jim Moore Jr. is the name to go.
Okay.
Going right back to a place where he had a lot of success. And remember, when he was there, they were reeling in NFL pros. I mean, defensive line-wise, they were winning ball games. He's familiar with that situation out there. I think going back home out west would be great for Jim Moore Jr.
Wrap us up with Stanford, Danny.
I'll go Spencer Danielson at Boise State, a guy who's crushed it there. He's a young coach. He could bring some life to that program. His players absolutely love playing for him. And I do think Stanford's a spot with the rev share. Andrew Luck's there in charge. They're trying to get some more money for the football players. I think that could be a spot you could actually make competitive in the ACC.
No Andrew Luck for head coach?
I know. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to.
You don't want to do
I would say keep Frank Reich possibly, but I don't think he wants it either.
Yeah, I don't think he wants that job.
Nobody
But right, there we go. Already done. We drafted all the coaches for you. We're going to get back to talking about some games because there's a big one on CBS between Oregon and Iowa. Whew, this is a big one. Let's break it down next on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You are going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map and not just a little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here.
Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You count on Derek's tonk skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Time now for a parlay pick presented by FanDuel. Play your game, and every FanDuel customer gets a shot to boost their college football winnings with a Boostin' with the Boys Profit Boost. All you got to do is claim your boost and apply it to your bet for a shot at even bigger winnings. Download the app now to get started. Eminem, what is the move on this Saturday?
Well, Emily, one thing we like to do in this room is get cute, and it doesn't always work out for us. So today, it's just shut up and take the favorite parlay.
It's a classic line up, run the ball parlay.
Yeah, that's all it is.
First leg, Clemson. I just watched Cade Klubnik cry about how this is his last ride, and on last rides, we're gonna ride with him. Clemson money line.
Oh, yeah, in. All right, next up, Texas A&M. Okay, everyone's talking about SEC upsets and all these things. They're minus 270. Let's not overthink this one.
Just click the button.
Click the button.
Last button we're going to click. Oregon money line. Listen, when you talk about Dan Lanning's pockets, when you get in Dan Lanning's pockets and you say, hey, man, those pockets are pretty full, he does one thing, he takes out the belt.
It's true.
Oregon money line.
And everyone's like, oh, 6.5. It's, they might not win. They're going to win. It's minus 240. Let's not overthink it. Shut up and take the favorites parlay. 3 legs, Clemson, Texas A&M, Oregon. Nice plus 262 to get the day going, Em.
How about it?
I like it, guys. Just we're being practical this week. Last week was a little wild, so we need a correction. A reminder: every FanDuel customer gets a shot to boost their college football winnings with a Boostin' with the Boys Profit Boost. All you got to do: claim your boost, apply it to your bet for a shot at even bigger winnings. We are expecting a cold, rainy mess of a day in Iowa City. Perfect weather for the Ducks, perhaps? We're going out live to our Iowa insider, Chris Hassel, joins the show next.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
זה בקיבוץ? בוא נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You are going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tommy, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here.
Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
It's big time on CBS. Oregon and Iowa, two teams with playoff hopes still very much alive. One of these teams will come away with a resume booster, and we're in for a real treat that we don't get often. It's their first meeting in Iowa City since 1989. Kirk Ferentz was on that staff. Dan Lanning was 3 years old. He has a few more years on him now, though, and has engineered a very impressive resume at Oregon. 11-7 versus ranked opponents, scoring over 32 points per game. Meanwhile, the Hawkeyes have lost 11 straight games versus ranked teams, but man, there's just something about Kinnick Stadium. Iowa has 8 wins versus AP top 10 opponents since 2003. Also adding to the magic, our Iowa Everywhere correspondent had a feeling about this game way back in August.
Thinking about the upcoming Iowa football season, there's a lot of things I don't know, but there's one thing I feel. I feel one thing in particular, and it's that Oregon is going to come in here and get their asses handed to them, similar to when Ohio State came in here in 2017 and lost by 30 plus. Again, I don't know a lot, but I feel that Oregon's
Oh my goodness, we love to hear from Chris Hassel. It's just a feeling, right? How are you feeling right now, Chris?
I'm feeling great. I did not play that clip for Dan Lanning last night when I interviewed him before the game. And I'm not quite feeling as great right now because I may or may not have had a few adult cocktails before recording that video when it was 90 degrees in the summer here in August. Weather is going to be a major factor today. This is probably the last time that you're going to see me looking like this. The rain is going to start likely within the next hour. It's going to get progressively colder, windier, and worse throughout the game. And we might end up, by the end of this game, I've been talking to some local meteorologists, it's possible that this game ends in snow. So we could have a snow game on CBS today.
Wow. Well, Chris, as you're talking about the weather and the elements, we had a conversation on the set. Mackenzie Brooks said that with the weather being the way that it is, Oregon can still play this type of football game as opposed to it being advantage Iowa. What is your take on that?
Yeah, that's kind of the misnomer here, is you think about Oregon football and the air it out teams that they've had all throughout these years, maybe more finesse, right? West Coast team coming into the Big Ten. That's not this team's identity. And I asked Dan Lanning that last night. Like, are you looking to play like Iowa in this game? Because that's what Gary Danielson said earlier this week when he was on CBS Sports HQ. He expects Oregon to try to beat Iowa at their own game, punching in the trenches. And they have some huge, huge players up front on both sides of the football. And I do think that this game is going to be more of a prototypical Big Ten smash mouth game than maybe you would expect with the Oregon Ducks coming to town.
Well, Chris, being, a fan of the Hawkeyes, when you look at this matchup, anytime we talk about Iowa Hawkeye football, we start and we stop that conversation with their defense, right? But for Iowa to win this game today, give me another name or another positional group that needs to really ball out and have a great game outside of the entire defense.
Here's the name, Caden Weegan. He might be the best kick returner in the country. This guy can score anytime he touches the ball, and he's not afraid to return a kick from inside his own 5-yard line. We've seen him return a kick 3-4 yards deep in the end zone and return it for a touchdown this season. That is definitely a main concern for Oregon in this game, in a game that could see a lot of punts. Caden Weegan is a guy who can turn a game around on one play, and every time he touches the ball, Kinnick Stadium is electric because they can envision him taking it all the way to the house.
Chris, I was a little bit surprised. I don't picture Iowa as a team that gives you a lot of bulletin board material, but Phil Parker during the bye week, he did say Oregon was well funded, and he had a little smirk on his face. I know Dan Lanning used that before they played Oklahoma State. How surprised were you by Phil Parker's comments?
I was very surprised, but I don't think Phil Parker is one to be on social media or to be watching a lot of us on CBS Sports HQ. I don't think he's aware that Dan Lanning takes these things as major slights and major motivation for his team. But we saw it on CBS earlier this year when Mike Gundy said something similar, and all Oregon did was beat them by 100 points. And Dan Lanning after the game said that Gundy poured gasoline on an already smoldering fire. I asked Dan Lanning about that after our interview. Had he heard that clip from Phil Parker? And he said yes. He has a lot of respect for Phil Parker, but he does not see that as a compliment.
Oh, yeah. There's some GA that came across that clip and was like, Coach, you got to see this to create some sort of edge in this game. Chris Hassel, last time we see you looking that good, but hang in there and we'll talk to you later today. This is a big one. It's Oregon at Iowa at 3:30 on CBS. 1 hour until kickoff from Lubbock, the game of the day, a top 10 showdown between BYU and Texas Tech. What is it going to take for the Cougs to pull off the upset, and what makes the Red Raiders so dominant? Plus, it's pad statting season for teams with Heisman contenders, and I hate to say it, but an opportunity for Ty Simpson against a reeling LSU. We're talking trophies next.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can't always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
זה בקיבוץ? בוא נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's big stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here.
Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness! What a performance!
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt
Oh,
skills,
Tony, I think it hit the ground.
but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Welcome back into college football pregame presented by FanDuel. 1 hour in, 1 hour to go. Danny, you good? You ready?
I am fired up.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to go.
We got Danny Cannell, B-Mac, Damian Harris. I'm Emily Proud. Mackenzie Brooks joining us in just a little bit. Let's talk a little Heisman Trophy odds. It is heating up. Exactly 1 month from today, the finalists will be announced, and a week later, one of these guys will be awarded the trophy. How about the favorite? Julian Sayin somewhat quietly has put together a Heisman-worthy season. The flash comes from his receivers, but he gets the ball to them with ease. He's put together an 80-plus completion percentage for the undefeated Buckeyes and a good opportunity to add to that resume today at Purdue. But it's been a tight race between Sayin and Indiana's Fernando Mendoza. He gets to go up against a zombie Penn State squad who's losers of 5 straight. So if Mendoza can keep it up, he has the chance to be the first ever Heisman winner for Indiana. So just start getting used to hearing Heisman-Doza now. Don't say I didn't warn you guys. Third in the odds, though, we got Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. He's already had plenty of Heisman moments as his Tide took down 4 straight ranked opponents. No little number next to their opponent today. And like Mendoza, Simpson also facing a coachless team hosting LSU. But the guy with the 4th highest odds has far and away the toughest test of all these guys. It's Texas A&M's Marcel Reed on the road at ranked Mizzou. The stats aren't as eye-popping, but the wins are. Aggies control their own destiny to their first ever SEC championship appearance in school history. Some people, guys, trying to make the case why A&M could potentially be ranked number 1 when those initial college football playoff rankings came out. But Danny, do they have a legitimate shot of winning the whole thing?
Yes, absolutely. I think there's a couple reasons why. I think there's a lot of teams that could win this thing. I don't think there's and as good as Ohio State and Indiana have been, I do think there is a question of, well, who really has tested them? How tested are they? Ohio State was tested by Texas, and that's a team that other teams have beaten pretty significantly. So I think there's a wide open field, and Texas A&M has a quarterback who is more than capable of getting it done, a run game in general that can run through teams, and a defense that Mike Elko has headed now that is one of the best in the country. So, yes, absolutely, Texas A&M is a team that could win it all.
You agree?
No, absolutely. I mean, starting with Marcel Reed, I'm starting to get the feeling, and I don't like to put the cart before the horse. I know comparison is the thief of joy, but when I watch him play, I can see a little tick of Jaden Daniels, just a small tick of Lamar Jackson. He's got the game-breaking playmaking ability. And like I said earlier in this show, when you got a quarterback that plays at a high level, it doesn't matter how we see him. It doesn't matter what his stats are. If he goes into a game and plays well, it automatically increases his team's chance of winning. And when you got a guy with the upside that Marcel Reed has, talking about using his legs, talking about the throws that he can make, maybe he doesn't always make them, but at times he does, that's all the reason in the world to believe that this team can win a national championship. And then again, to their defense, I'm going to name a guy, not just defense in general. Cassius Howe is an absolute force to be reckoned with. We saw what he did to LSU's offensive line from the first snap to the last. And then my last point would be Tommy Moffitt. We haven't given him enough credit, especially coming off the Texas A&M LSU game a couple weeks ago. Tommy Moffitt is a strength coach that Brian Kelly fired at LSU. He ended up at Texas A&M with Mike Elko and that staff. He has built this program, the players, the team, to be able to withstand any test. They can go the distance. They can go to overtime. They can go to 8 overtimes. They are built as a team that can last for a 15-round fight. And then again, when you look at the players that they have, of course they have a chance to win it all.
When you look at the top 4 teams currently in the playoff ranking, you know, Indiana, Ohio State, Alabama, and A&M. A&M, they have the only legit playmaker at the quarterback position. Playmaker. And that's who Marcel Reed is. And that's why I agree with both guys. They have a legit fighting chance to win it all because he is the best playmaker amongst the other 3 quarterbacks that are currently in the top 4. And then secondly, and the last key point for me and why I believe they could win it all, they got dogs in the trench battle. The defensive line, you just talked about what they have in terms of the edge rushing position, Damian, but offensive line-wise, they have been one of the unsung heroes for their entire team because in the beginning of the season, we didn't know exactly how good their offensive line will be. Well, they've been phenomenal. They've only surrendered 6 sacks. The entire season. 6 sacks. Not to mention they've been dealing with injuries in the backfield, but we can't tell because they've been paving the way, running lanes for whoever the running back has been. So those are things that travel in playoff football when you have a playmaker at the quarterback position and when you have the hogs on the defensive and offensive line, you can win ball games.
I got one more name. You gave some comps for Marcel Reed. You know what else his style of play reminds me of? Colin Klein. When he was his coordinator, his play caller was a dynamic quarterback at Kansas State. He was a 1,000-yard rusher as well as a 3,000-yard passer for the Wildcats. They're very similar in style.
Shout out Nashville native Marcel Reed, Montgomery Bell Academy there.
And he's a good big-time hooper. He can hoop also.
He is a very good hooper, but yeah, they're going to need him at the quarterback position today. They want to take down a ranked team on the road. This next question we had to adjust a little bit because of present company. So I'm going to ask you, Ohio State, Indiana, Bama, or the field to win the national championship?
One of those 3. I mean, when you look at...
Which one?
No. I thought this was like is it one of these 3 teams or is it the field? I thought that
pick one of those 3 teams or pick the field.
I'm going to go with Alabama.
No, we're not surprised.
I'm going to go with Alabama because Ohio State has not been tested. Indiana, I mean, yeah, they beat Oregon, but we're going to find out more about this Oregon team today when they play Iowa. And coming off the results of that game, we might look at it and be like, oh, well, how impressive was that win for Indiana? Meanwhile, Alabama has beaten 4 ranked SEC teams in a row. They've been the most improved team from week 1 to now. Ty Simpson is in the Heisman conversation. I know, B-Mac, you just said he might not be the best playmaker, but you can absolutely make an argument that he plays the quarterback position just as well as a Julian Sayin, a Fernando Mendoza, better than Marcel Reed. So The defense is getting better. Kalen DeBoer is figuring out how to handle the personalities and the egos that come with playing in SEC football, and they figured it out.
So one of those three or the field, Danny?
One of those three.
Okay.
Because I think somebody
What
from the
the
field
hell?
can, but I'll say one of those three.
B-Mac?
Who?
I'll go Ohio State. They're just seeing them in person. It's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Larrys and the Joes. And they got a lot of Larrys and Joes all over the place on the field. They once again have a talented roster that looks even more impressive than last year. Julian saying completing 80% of his passes
It's unbelievable.
after 8 games is insane.
You're the only one I know this
Danny.
is Larry's instead of Jimmy's.
Yeah, I thought it was Jimmy.
Jimmy and Joe.
I bet Danny Cannell could complete 80% of his passes throwing to those guys.
All right, B-Mac, super quick.
Ohio State,
Ohio State.
for me also.
Okay.
Their defense, best defense.
Okay, so
in
then
college football.
ask me, what is the... Okay. So what does the field look like, Mackenzie Brooks? Our iPad kid over there is using some technology to explain it to us.
Yeah, you know, Gen Z gets their hands on an iPad, and just this is exactly what happens here. But listen, sometimes it's easier to go conference by conference, specifically the Power 4 conferences, to get an idea and work your way through this. But starting with things that we obviously know, these are 4 SEC teams. I don't think anyone's going to argue in this moment that they shouldn't be making the college football playoff, some version of seeding there. The revised Big 3 from the Big 10 here as well. We go to Notre Dame, who we do just think is going to run the table. Well, let's start with what we saw last night with Memphis going down. Memphis was our Group of 5 team for basically the entire year, but now USF is the team that technically has the higher % chance to win that conference. You could see all these teams cannibalize themselves in the Group of 5, and JMU ends up taking that spot. But as far as ranking, we do think it will be the AAC conference winner, so we have USF there. As far as their own game today on CBS, with Oregon only being 6.5-point favorites, we do think they win. Hypothetically, if they were to lose, they do have so much wiggle room. We bring them down to like a 56% chance to make the college football playoff. So for all intensive purposes, we'll just move them a little bit lower in the box here. But this is where things start to get tricky, because all year I've said there will be 3 teams to represent the ACC in the Big 12. Will it be 2 ACC? Will it be 2 Big 12, etc.? The way we've seen the ACC shake out, I feel like it's just going to be Georgia Tech to represent them as the ACC conference winner. People want to ding them for not having a tough schedule. I don't really care. That's what's going to get them to the ACC Conference Championship, where they will eventually beat either a Duke or a UVA, etc. There's a really good chance that the ACC is kind of like the Big 12 of last year, where they all start to beat up on each other. You'll see next week a lot of those games start to come to light. As far as the Big 12, obviously BYU Texas Tech is the game of the day. We like Texas Tech to win this game. We also like Texas Tech to go on and win the conference here. Now, with that said, if BYU just loses this game and they win out, and then they go to the Big 12 Conference Championship, if the committee is going to do what the committee tells us and not punish teams for making their conference championship, then we would be putting BYU into the into the playoff as well. So this is what we currently have: 2 Big 12, 4 ACC. The odds of this happening with BYU are barely higher than Texas being a 5th SEC team for us. So if we do see BYU lose this game, lose another game, they become a 2-loss regular season team, we would be taking BYU out of the Big 12 here, and we'd be putting Texas in as a 5th SEC team. So this is the 2 situations that are most likely to happen. A second Big 12 team and a 5th SEC team are essentially head-to-head, bullying each other into the final rounds of this playoff. So we're going to eventually figure that out, but for right now, we do think BYU is going to be the 2nd team from the Big 12 instead of a 5th team from the SECM.
Very interesting. So, Danny, if it comes down to BYU versus Texas, who would you rather have in the playoff?
A 10-2 Texas? I'd rather see a 10-2 Texas.
Okay.
But a 9-3 Texas? Probably a BYU.
You're just really against that 9-3
I mean, you got to win games at some point.
At some point, yeah. But if they end up beating Texas A&M at the end of the
then
regular
put 'em
season,
in.
absolutely deserving of that. Another team that Sportsline likes to make the college football playoff, USF, and our next guest probably has something to say about that. South Florida head coach Alex Golesh joins us live. That is next here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No. That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
בקיבוץ? בואי נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome.
That power! Oh, my goodness! What a performance!
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tonk skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome.
That power! Oh, my goodness! What a performance!
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But thanks to CBS Sports, you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
When he first came out of prison, I thought, maybe I'll get my dad back, even after everything that happened. So much for second chances, eh?
You can't count on Derek's tonk skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Amazing grace.
I'm gonna spend the rest of my career protecting my father's mission. We don't quit.
Thank you.
That's what my dad would do.
Not every fan base has to sweat it out today. We're all very jealous of South Florida fans right now since they got their winning out of the way Thursday. The Bulls with a decisive victory over UTSA, rebounding.
I like that, Sally.
From a tough loss to Memphis the week prior. I bet you like that touchdown too, B-Mac. They had plenty of those, scoring 55 points in the win. And the American Conference has been a little wild. I'm sure somebody knows a little bit about that. The head coach of South Florida, Alex Golesh, here joining us on the show. Coach, how you feeling on this already victory Saturday?
Yeah, I feel great. You hit on that. It's nice to get it out of the way on Thursday and get a couple extra days, especially when you start preparing for a Navy team that you'll take every minute of every day that you could possibly have.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned that next game. It just feels like every single game this season in the American is massive. Obviously, your expectations for this team were always very high, but what has this conference shown you so far in this season?
Well, I think it starts with just the commitment level that a bunch of the schools have made. Obviously from a coaching side, you've got some elite level coaching, and you could tell that going back to really this past offseason where you could see there's very little patience to build these programs. I mean, everybody wants to win right now. There's a pressure to go get it, and as coaching changes were made, there were some elite level hires made, and then the investment from these schools has been absolutely huge. So you see the talent level continue to grow, but it's been that way for a while. I was in this league in 2020. And then obviously back in it, you see that the level of play, the level of investment just continues to go up. And it starts with the coaching hires and then certainly the ability to acquire players.
Coach, we talk a lot about great quarterbacks on here all the time, and I don't know if yours gets enough love on the national stage for the job that he's done, both leading in passing and rushing. Tell me a little bit about Byron Brown and how important it's been to have him healthy for a full year, something he's been battling in previous years.
Yeah, he's the best version of him right now. He's really confident. It's been awesome to see just his growth. We had him as a redshirt freshman, and he went out and did some incredible things and broke a ton of school records here. And he would be the first to tell you that, man, I don't even know that I totally knew exactly what was going on. It was year one. We're trying to establish a culture, trying to build an offense, trying to build an identity really in every way. And then a year ago got hurt there in the beginning part of the season, and I think honestly gave him a chance to reset, gave him a chance to kind of see big picture view for the first time in his career, which I think is something that you probably don't get enough credit for, the ability to just reset. And man, he had an incredible offseason, just continued to evolve physically, but I think his biggest growth has been just mentally what he's really come to realize that, man, we go as I go. He's always been a really good leader. He's become a really good vocal leader. And I've said this before, but I think when your hardest workers are your best leaders and then actually are your best players, you could do some incredible things. And we've gone as he's gone, certainly offensively, but I think defensively, when those guys see a young man that's willing to throw his body around as much as anybody else on that field, and then somebody that works the way he does, somebody that is truly a first in, last out young man, it's been really special. And he's developed certainly as a quarterback on top of all that. Just his ability to see the field, his ability in the intermediate game has just grown tremendously. And it certainly helps when he can pull the ball down and create with his feet the way he has. I don't know the national conversation, but Byron Brown is one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. And to be honest with you, probably one of the best football players in the entire country.
And he's an NFL prospect as well, Coach. So I do believe he will have a future in the NFL. So I back everything you said about your quarterback, Brown. But let's transition to the defense. You talked about Byron Brown being the quarterback of the offense. It's safe to say Mac Harris is the quarterback of the defense. He leads you in total tackles, I think around 75. He leads you in sacks. He has 6 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. What makes him so special?
Yeah, I think similar to Byram, another young man when we got here, he hadn't played a whole lot of football and came in, had to change his body, had to change, honestly, more than anything, his mindset. And another young man as a senior now, that's one of our hardest workers, one of our best leaders. And again, when your best players can be your hardest workers and your best leaders, you can do some special things. And I think as Mac has taken on this leadership role in our program, it's enhanced his game. He's put more pressure on himself to do things absolutely at an elite clip, forced his own process to go from being good to elite, and the ability for him to get others to rally around him. I think he knows, man, as I run, we run, as I hit, we hit, and his energy has been contagious. And as his level of play has stepped up, everybody else around him has stepped up. And I think similar to the conversation you're having about Byron, I think Max developed enough in the last 3 years here that he's playing his best football right now, and he's also very much a guy that'll be playing on Sundays as long as he continues to just have this confidence and this level of preparation that's gotten him to this point, which is playing at an elite level in November.
Coach, when we look at your team, I don't think it's fair to call USF the little brother to a Miami or to a Florida. Florida, a team that you beat this year. How do you use a win against a team like Florida in recruiting? How do you get guys, especially in the state of Florida, how do you steal those recruits, bring them to USF, and not lose them to programs like Miami and the University of Florida?
Yeah, I think for us, it's been the same since we got here. We're in a mode where we're going to go outwork those people. I think in this day and age where everything that's talked about is NIL and portal and all of these things that are really new as of the last 5 years, and we embrace it. We're a part of the conversation and all of the evolving things that are going on in college football. But to be honest with you, since we got here, and this has kind of been me my whole time as a college football coach, man, we're going to outwork anybody and everybody in every aspect of our program, and it starts with recruiting. I think amongst everything going on, you can still develop relationships. You could still send one more letter. You could still go above and beyond and try to figure out, man, who is this young man talking to every single day? Who is going to help this young man make a decision? And a lot of the time it isn't who you think it is, but you've got to go the extra mile. And so if we're going to go compete with programs like that, and we have, we've got to go outwork those people. And we've continued to do so. We're recruiting at a high clip. It certainly helps when you go to Gainesville and win there. And we're going to continue to stack classes as we continue to develop this program of guys that aren't afraid to go up to Gainesville and compete, aren't afraid to go anywhere in the country. And I told these guys, honestly, going into this last game on Wednesday night, like when we're at our best and we play with elite level detail and we play with a violent intent, we could play with anybody in the country, and we have. And I think right now there's a confidence in this program that we will continue to do so as we move forward.
Understandably, that Florida win and then your program success as a whole has made your name come up quite a bit when it comes to some of these head coach openings in the sport. Obviously, that's something, the noise, you can't necessarily control, but how do you handle that within your team so you make sure they keep chugging along this season?
Yeah, to be honest with you, this is like a hot question. I keep getting asked the same question. I haven't handled it because there's really nothing to handle. We're in the middle of November playing meaningful football for the first time here in Tampa in a really, really long time. And I'm as focused as I've ever been. And I'm so process driven, and we have drilled home with our guys since the moment I got here that this is going to be a process driven program. We're going to recruit and retain young men that are process driven and not result driven, and that way there are no ups and downs of a season. You go right back to work. You literally day by day just try to become the best version of you. And so for us, there's been no change in process. There's been no nothing, and I'm not naive to the fact that there's outside noise, and obviously you wish there wasn't, but it's a total credit to what these guys have been able to do here in a really, really short time to get this program flipped. And by these guys, I mean our players, our staff, our administration. They've poured into this program this exciting brand of football that we're playing here in November, and I'm so hyper focused on what's going on here, and I take it all in stride. I take it all as a compliment that people are talking about me. But the only reason people are talking about me is because these dudes that are right out here, that are in the middle of meetings right now, are continuing to just pour into their process and continuing to be the best version of them. And all I want to do right now is go put a plan together and have an elite week to go beat Navy here a week from today, and continue to go and compete to do something that's never been done here. And I'm so hyper-focused on that. But I'm super humbled by it. Obviously grateful for the attention this program is getting. We need it. It's great for our program. It's great for our city. It's great for our university. But I'm so freaking excited right now to just continue to get better and better and better as we make a run at something, again, that hasn't been done here ever in the history of our program.
Coach, I don't have to tell BMAC or Emily what FE means because they went to class. Damian probably doesn't know that it's a symbol for iron. But you told me a story a few weeks ago on the radio. It was such a good story. I wanted to share it with them because the teacher that you had in high school for that class when you learned about FE is actually still with you. Can you share that with them?
Yeah. So, man, my high school offensive coordinator was also like the best darn high school science teacher ever. But so he gave me that back here, and amongst the fact that it stands for iron, it stands for F and elite, and that's our deal when we talk about our mindset and how we work and what we do around here. That we're F and elite. And you'll hear our kids say it. You'll hear our coaches say it. My little 10-year-old, he can't say effing, but he can say he's doing elite. And so it's just a mindset, and it's in everything you do. We're chasing greatness every step of the way. We want to be the best in the country at everything we do, and that's how we've set this whole thing up. But yeah, so my high school offensive coordinator, who gave me my first job coaching D-line at Westerville Central High School, he's our director of player development here, and has done incredible things for our program, incredible things for our players, and really taught me, man, you give more of yourself than you ever take from the whole, and we've continued to kind of live by that, where we continue to pour into these young people and expect nothing back other than for them to just pour into their process, love this game, love each other, and continue to plug. But yeah. Friggin' elite back there. It stands for iron, which was the question, and I did not pay attention in high school chemistry, especially when it came to the periodic table of elements. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, that's all right. It can have multiple meanings. Everybody's got iron sharpens iron. That one is much deeper. I spotted that. I spotted the shoes in the background.
I wish it was iron sharpening iron.
Well, I noticed that Red Bull sitting on the desk right next to the computer, trying to stay awake, huh?
Yeah, well, you don't have a game today. You're already a winner. So are we for having you on, Coach. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate y'all. Go Bulls.
Love it. Best of luck the rest of the way. We've got more show. How about the battle of improbable versus investment? That's BYU and Texas Tech. A deeper dive into the Cougs. Whew, stick with us here on HQ. A lot to talk about.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes. New season now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness!
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
We are counting you down to noon kickoffs, T-minus a half hour, and we got to change a quarterback for Colorado. Coach Prime opting to give true freshman Juju Lewis his first collegiate start. He just turned 18 a little over a month ago, but with the Buffs riding a 2-game losing streak in which they've scored just 24 points total, Dion calling the move, quote, common sense. So we will see Juju Lewis under center as they take on the Mountaineers of West Virginia. And elsewhere in the Big 12 Conference, really all eyes on number 7 BYU and number 8 Texas Tech. The Red Raiders making headlines for their investment in the offseason, but for the Cougs, little transfer portal pickup in May proved to be the difference in their season. That pickup, freshman quarterback Bear Bachmeier. And take a look at the biggest college football odd swings in Week 11. Of course, Notre Dame is up there because they just cannot take a third loss, but big swing in this Texas Tech and BYU game, a must-win for both of these teams. And live from Lubbock, we have our friend Shahan Jayaraja. And Shahan, I mentioned the quarterback for BYU, Bear Bachmeier. You have a fantastic story up right now on CBSSports.com. I recommend everybody go check it out if they have not already. Not at this moment, because we're going to talk to you about that. What surprised you most when you were digging into the Bachmeier family and some of the fun facts that you learned about Bear?
Well, it's interesting, right? I've actually been fascinated by the Bachmeier for a long time. People may remember his brother Hank, his brother Tiger as well came up, but Bear has become the star of the family in so many ways. And I think that what fascinated me most about them was just how much their athletic success was planned. Their dad, Michael Bachmeier, really early on was like, we are going to commit to create a family of essentially great athletes. And of course, 3 Division I football players. Their sister, by the way, is a Division III All-American in the heptathlon. And that was the environment where Bear Bachmeier grew up. So he's been forged through the fires of competition really for years and years because of his older siblings. And now you see that paying off for BYU.
Shahan, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about what it's like in Lubbock right now. We've seen some tortillas. Obviously, this is one of the biggest games in a long time for Texas Tech. So what's it like there right now as we are half an hour until kickoff?
Well, there's no question about it. This is the biggest game since 2008 when number 1 Texas came to town and Michael Crabtree had his famous catch. And people are living up to the moment. I've gotten the chance to talk to so many Red Raiders who were part of that 2008 game, maybe were little kids watching at home, and they never thought that they'd get an opportunity like this. So with BYU coming to town, they committed to it. We had people camping out starting last Sunday afternoon all the way up until this Friday. The stands were filled really 75 minutes before game time. I mean, people are amped up for this game. It's all anybody can talk about in town, and the scene outside is absolutely nuts.
Well, you absolutely showed out for this big one. Love the jacket man, Shahan Jayaraja. Check out his work on CBSSports.com. We appreciate his work there. I want to continue to talk about Bear Bachmeier, the football player, Danny, because I mentioned it. He came in May as a transfer portal. He was not expecting to be the starter. Not only is he the starter, they're undefeated. I mean, you look at the comparisons. We've got Trevor Lawrence on a graphic with him. Danny, what's impressed you most about this number 47, what he's done?
Just the composure. I mean, that's something you always look for. Like, are you ready for the stage of college football? I don't think anybody realizes how much of a jump that is going from high school to college football. Yes, the system that you have to absorb, but the pressure that you have to play under week in, week out. And he has handled it really well. A typical freshman, you'd be worried about turnovers, and he's been great with the football. And earlier in the season, they relied a lot on his legs and for him to, just kind of manage a system. But they've kind of opened it up a little bit recently. And I think they're going to have to rely on him a little bit more through the air, but it's not who BYU is. That's the one thing they've given Bear Bachmeier, is a system that kind of takes some of that load off of his shoulders. But he runs the football. He's pretty dynamic there. He's found ways to make plays. And I think that will be the critical thing to watch out for today in a hostile environment against a defense that's one of the best in the country. Do you panic under some of those plays when all of a sudden there's a guy in your face? Do you throw it up for grabs or do you take a sack? Like, decision making for Bear Bachmeier has been great all season long. It will have to be on point today.
And something else that's very un-freshman-like of him is his build. In that story by Shahan, he mentioned that he was taken out of school to train, essentially. Of course, still doing homeschool, but he is 6'2", 220. I mean, he's thick, which helps in that run game.
I'm glad you said it so I didn't have to. But no, I mean, he looks the part. He plays the part, and everything that Danny just said, it's the composure. Yeah. Yes, he's got the talent. Yes, he's got the physical build, but it's what's between the ears for Bear Bachmeier to me. His composure, his confidence. Like, he doesn't look unsure of the decisions that he makes, the throws that he makes. He looks confident. His eyes are there. If the first read's not open, immediately to the second read. If that's not open, then he looks to be explosive as a runner, use his legs. The only thing I will say to be the caveat to Danny is that composure and all that, it's 100% true. He has not faced a defense like Texas Tech. He has not had to run away from a guy like David Bailey, who's got 11.5 sacks, leads the country in that statistic. So all the composure things, all the things that Bear Bachmeier does really well, today will be a very, very, very real litmus test for how ready he is for the moment, how ready he is to take BYU to the Big 12 championship, and then ultimately potentially to a 12-team playoff run.
Bear Bachmeier is the most important player for BYU, clearly on the offense, but the most valuable in today's matchup has to be L.J. Martin. He has to be the most valuable player for their offense, and here's why. Bear Bachmeier has been amazing. His story has been so surreal in terms of how he became the starting quarterback and the way he's delivered week in and week out. But in this atmosphere, when you're playing against a playoff caliber team, the environment will feel like a playoff game. You cannot put all the pressure on your young quarterback to deliver the goods. He has to be able to rely on a running game. And L.J. Martin has been outstanding. He averages around 98 yards per ball game. I think he's had 5 100-yard games so far this season. He is healthy. He has to get things rolling for their offense. It will be very, very difficult because Texas Tech, they have yet to allow a 100-yard rusher the entire season. David Bailey, he leads the nation in sacks. Can't forget about Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker. He leads the nation in forced fumbles. This is a very, very opportunistic defense, and they have the experience on all 3 levels. So it's very, very important for BYU to get off to a fast start. The first quarter for BYU might be just as important as the fourth quarter, because if they get off to a slow start and they allow Baron Morton to get things rolling, this could be a blowout. That's why the first opportunities for Bear Bachmeier, L.J. Martin, they got to take advantage of it to steal some momentum away from this home crowd, because you don't want to allow the crowd to get going and start throwing those tortillos all over the place.
What is a tortillo? Has anybody ever heard of a tortillo?
You know what's interesting is they got a new policy. They said no more throwing. They were going to let them.
It's while they're tailgating.
But I do wonder if BYU fan throw them, try to get them a penalty, because it will be a penalty in the game.
Because you would think it would come from a home.
Right.
Competitive
sabotage. Yeah, well, to the point about what Bear and L.J. Martin are going to face, Texas Tech investing $7 million in their defensive line.
And it's working. And it's working.
So
most
far,
importantly
seems
to know,
to be
it's working.
Money well spent. Well, that's not the only game kicking off at noon. We've got a full slate. And how about out in Happy Valley? That is Fernando Mendoza getting warm, ready to go. His Indiana Hoosiers are a 14.5-point favorite at Penn State. Danny, I said you need to get used to hearing Heisman Doza. What is he doing lately that makes him worthy?
Did you come up with that, Emily?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
I don't know.
Somebody else
I heard it
did.
a couple
I
different
like
places,
it.
so I can't fully give credit.
The thing that's impressed me the most is how quickly he's adapted in a new offense. Because he was at Cal the last couple years and was putting up pretty good numbers, running for his life a lot of times behind an offensive line that struggled. Now that he's got some weapons around him, he's been great making decisions, and he really is the total package at the quarterback position. His throwing motion looks effortless. He can hit you with the deep ball. He makes good decisions. He's got a good run game, and he is mobile enough to where if you think you've got him contained or you get a good rush, he can get outside the pocket and make plays outside the pocket. I think right now, if the season ended today, I would probably give it to Fernando Mendoza, but there still is 3 games left for the Hoosiers.
Elijah Surratt not expected to play today, by the way. Does that make an impact on this? He's still not.
Heisman Mendoza.
No, he's not. I love the nickname. Best nickname out there in terms of Heisman conversation, but I don't think Fernando's going to win the Heisman.
Who is then?
Anyone else?
Anyone else?
Hold on.
I am tired of the.
Hold on. Julian saying.
Yep.
I think he has a better opportunity to win it. Or Ty Simpson.
He leads in the odds right now.
Or Ty Simpson. And the reason why I say that is no knock about who Fernando is as a player. He's a great quarterback. But then when I look at their schedule, when is his Heisman moment? When is his Heisman moment? You talked about the remaining schedule.
On the road at Oregon?
They got Penn State.
Yeah.
This is how he finishes the season, by the way, because you know how you finish the season is a very, very important factor in terms of the voters.
Come on.
You got Penn State, Wisconsin, Purdue.
Come on.
What opportunity will he have to have that Heisman moment when you look at some of the other?
There's a Big Ten championship game at the end of that, too.
But usually the championship game is not a major factor in terms of the voting. It happens now.
It's the last thing they see.
But what I'm saying is with Ty Simpson, he could have a Heisman moment tonight. And you look at the rest of the schedule for Alabama, they have more competitive opportunities. When you look at Julian saying, you still have that Michigan game, which is going to be one of the more watched games that weekend to have that Heisman moment along with the potential Big Ten championship game. That's what I'm saying about Fernando. It's nothing about him. It's about the lack of competitiveness they will endure the rest of the way in terms of their regular season schedule.
There's a very good chance that we see 2 Heisman favorites battling it out in the Big Ten championship game.
That's when the Heisman is won.
Between Julian Saying and Fernando Mendoza.
Potentially.
Because they're going to be compared to each other on the field.
The good part about that situation, and I agree with you, Emily, great point. Julian, if they beat Michigan, he goes into that championship game with all the marbles in his favor.
Yep.
Especially if he balls out.
And then Fernando Mendoza has a chance to knock him from that perch in that game.
I just don't
in his backyard in Indianapolis.
Ty Simpson got plenty of opportunities.
But see, here's the thing. I think you got. So here's why I think Fernando Mendoza wins it, because he has the clearest path. Like he doesn't have the Heisman moments, but if Ty Simpson does slip up and lose a game, same thing with Julian saying, what if they don't beat Michigan? Then all of a sudden they're knocked out. Fernando Mendoza slides right in.
We just need to see that Heisman moment.
I just hope if Fernando Mendoza goes to New York for the Heisman ceremony, he gets a new barber. Get a new barber before you go to New York. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll see. Well, exactly 1 month from today, we get the list of finalists who are headed to New York. So we'll have a wrap on that discussion. But friends, you got some good noon bets for us here.
Yeah, we're coming up on time to make some money on some college football.
Give me, please. I would just love nothing more.
Okay, let's start with my team, and then we'll get it out of the way. Georgia Bulldogs, second half spread.
Yep.
Versus Mississippi State. One thing about this team, after watching them the past few years post-grad, they are buns in the first half.
Buns.
Bad football coming from Georgia in the first half, and I know they're always going to get it done. Kirby goes in the locker room, they figure everything out, but I don't want to touch the first half. It's always the second half.
Let's touch the second.
Where they really get into it.
Yeah,
So we're going to touch the second half.
Let's touch the
minus the 4.5.
It's like a good night out. The first string never goes down just as well, and then you get to that fifth one, you go, now we're back.
Make no mistake, this has been a second half team for sure. Never sweat that first half. Next, the game of the week, JMU Marshall.
I was literally about to say.
Thank you. Over 54.5 points. This Marshall team, their past 5 games have all gone for 70-plus points. This is a Mikey Overs play. This is just a Marshall team that lets you score. JMU always looking for style points, hoping that the AAC cannibalizes itself. They look great. They can take the playoff spot. They might put up 45 points on their own to hit this over, but Marshall just loves to let the points fly.
And there's something nice about when you got those teams playing in a slate like this and everyone goes, oh, what are you watching? You go,
JMU Marshall, obviously. Obviously. Emily, agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's also fun, too, because we all get to watch these games together because we have more content in the afternoon. So I love those noon picks. We got 15 minutes to get that in. And we got more picks next here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
בקיבוץ? בוא נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
What? You are going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience with grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Time now for a parlay pick presented by FanDuel. Start us off. Who you got?
Give me Alabama LSU over. Ty Simpson.
Points.
Heisman moment. Alabama runs up the score tonight.
Follow me. I got a guarantee. I don't want to say a guarantee, but I feel really good about my pick. Give me Texas Tech money line. Just outright win.
I think Auburn could beat Vanderbilt today, but even if they don't, their defense comes and slows down Vanderbilt under.
Defense.
Low scoring game, under 45.5.
Kens?
I'm going with the points. JMU, Marshall, noon game, over 54.5. Who doesn't love points?
Yeah, and listen, there's a lot of great football games today.
Yeah.
I was looking at the whole board trying to find one, trying to pick one, but I wore this polo for a reason. Give me the Providence College Friars money line on the hardwood. Come on, Friar me up. Stephon Vox, Jason Edwards.
We love to see some versatility in the parlay. Just one sneaky leg, Em. Just one sneaky leg.
I love college basketball,
Absolutely.
but it's week 11 in college football. I can guarantee you I will not be watching that game, but I'll check the score because I want us to win here. A reminder that every FanDuel customer gets a shot to boost their college football winnings with a Boostin' with the Boys profit boost. All you got to do, claim your boost, apply it to your bet for a shot at even bigger winnings. Download the app now to get started. Only one thing left to do on this show. We're going to pick some games, so I'll ask the crew, who you got? That's next.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Mommy was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
בקיבוץ? בוא נלך הביתה.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, 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 crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
We are getting so close to kickoff, so it is time to make some game picks. Let's start with the top 10 matchup between BYU and Texas Tech, and we're seeing some line movement.
Crazy
Cougs
line.
now up to a 13.5 point
Disrespect.
underdog on the road.
I
But
think-
straight up, who wins this game?
Well, with the movement of the line, Vegas clearly agrees with me. Texas Tech is going to win this football game. It's all about the defense. David Bailey, what these guys present on defense, it's going to be too much for Bear Bachmeier. Give me the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Texas Tech as well, playing at home is a huge benefit for them. I think they utilize the crowd, the home crowd, to their advantage. I got Texas Tech as well.
Yeah, I'll rock with the Red Raiders as well.
Kens?
This makes me feel less special. I also like Texas Tech here. Now that spread's getting a little crazy, but I'll take Texas Tech.
I'm going to go Texas Tech as well. This could be the curse graphic.
No, I got BYU in the
Okay.
points, so we're good.
Yeah.
Thank God we got a little blue there.
Thank God. Almost just handed one to BYU.
Yeah, that really saved us there. Let's go to LSU at number 4, Alabama. We got the interim versus the team that feels inevitable at this point. Damien?
Alabama, next.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
Now, I do believe Alabama will win this ball game, but I think LSU keeps it a little closer than what the odd makers believe. Anytime you have a shakeup at the head coaching position, usually that kind of, boosts the morale. We saw that last week with Florida and Georgia. We saw that was a very, very close ball game. So Frank Wilson stepping in, I think he kind of gives some energy to LSU, but I like Alabama to win this ball game, but I like 10.5 for LSU.
You've been drinking?
He can't come in and play offensive line, though, so I'm going to go ahead and roll with Bama.
Ken, so you got?
Now that I'm not in the same room with Damien, I can really speak my mind. I think LSU can cover. Just one of those funny tummy feelings.
Smart girl.
I would like to do the first half if that was an option too. Maybe Bama pulls it out at the end. I do think they win, but something weird about it, Mikey. Something weird.
Yeah, this is a game I feel pretty passionately about. I mean, you have an LSU team that's limping into Alabama, and I think a lot of people are in your vein where they're going, I think LSU could do it. And I saw an interview from Nick Saban, who I think baked a lot of his thought process into the DNA of Alabama and the school, and it was the importance of nothing that I'm sure Mr. Damien Harris knows a lot about. And when you wake up every morning, you're owed nothing. And I think a lot of people think Alabama thinks they're going to roll into this game and LSU is going to come in and they're just going to roll over them. This is an Alabama team they're not owed anything. And they're going to come in here now. I'm going to alt the spread. Give me Alabama minus 20.5. Whoa. They're going to come in here, the importance of nothing. We're owed nothing. And guess what, LSU? You're limping in a big rivalry game.
Come on, overs.
Wow.
I like
if
that guy.
you could sense the heart rate on Dan, you're a little worried he was about to take LSU here. Don't worry.
I knew he's my guy.
All right. Real quick here, we've got Oregon, Iowa. Biggest game in the Big Ten. You can watch it on CBS, but who wins?
I made a big case for Iowa all day. I like Oregon to win the game.
Oregon.
I'm going to say Oregon 15-13, a lower scoring game, under.
Ken's?
This Oregon team can run the ball. Like, they can play in this weather. Give me Oregon.
We just handed Iowa the win, so I'm going to take Oregon as well.
Congrats, Iowa.
There you go, Iowa.
Here we go.
Oh, no. Take your screenshots now. No lone wolves. I was hoping to hear some howling, but that's all right, guys. We appreciate you sticking with us here this morning. Big time on CBS. Number 9 Oregon, number 20 Iowa, live from Iowa City at 3:30. We'll be back here for a live pregame show starting at 2 o'clock, getting you ready to kick off. And after it is all said and done, except for maybe that Hawaii SDSU game, our friends on the Cover 3 podcast will bring you a live recap show.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Survivor is always evolving. This is your moment.
I will try to be brave, but not on day one.
This is your season.
Red Alert, now streaming on Paramount+.
I'm gonna start. What? You're going to die tonight.
What are you talking about?
Unless you give it what it wants.
I want to play.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Ink Master Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Being on the road, I don't think it's a job. I think it's a calling.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. That power. Oh my goodness, what a performance.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch, 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 crutch.